Here it is, very tiny, and it transfers the germ to the human. And then it produces this double ring effect, one red blotch inside another. Dr. Bernard Berger of Long Island took pieces of tissue and sent them to the laboratory of Dr. Bernard Ackerman at NYU.
If this is the causative organism, as we presume it is, patients can be treated for the disease early, and therefore they can be spared the untoward sequelae of the disease that can involve the nervous system, the heart, and the joints.
The treatment is heavy doses of penicillin to kill the germ. But for Dr. Gumport, it was too late.
But the deer tick that carries this disease is the size of a head of a pin, and you really cannot see it. So you have to be very, very careful to be clothed. If I'd been wearing slacks or shoes or something of the kind, I don't think this would have developed.
As far as is known, the germ cannot pass from one human to another directly. It takes the special deer tick to carry the spirochete from one animal to another. Roland?
The songwriter Harry Chapin's widow is claiming negligence in the highway accident that killed her husband, and she has filed a $25 million suit against Volkswagen and the Rickel Home Center. Chapin was killed when a Rickel truck slammed into the Volkswagen the singer was driving on the Long Island Expressway in July of '81. Chapin's widow, Sandra, charges Volkswagen with an unsafe design of the car and the Rickel truck driver with not slowing to avoid a collision.
And coming up, some pink slips in Newark and troubled bridges over water. Tony Guida reports on the city's sagging infrastructure when we return.
Who says you can't afford genuine leather shoes? Well, right now at Father & Son at Endicott Johnson, you can buy 2 pair of leather shoes for only $39.90. That's right, $39.90. And these leather shoes feature cushion insoles and lifetime soles and heels that will outwear the uppers, or we'll replace them free. At these prices, you'll want several pair of these genuine leather shoes with lifetime soles and heels. On sale at Father & Son and Endicott Johnson today.
Car and Driver magazine asked motor critics to vote for the 10 most beautiful cars of all time. The only sedan in current production to be so honored is the Jaguar. Surprising? Not for the best Jaguar ever built. The Jaguar combines quick handling, vivid response, supple leathers, and exotic woods that add up to an almost magical blending of art and machine. See the yellow pages for your Jaguar dealer or call this number toll-free.
Foreign cars. They're not foreign to me. I'm your local man from Meineke. Meineke Discount Mufflers stocks a large inventory of foreign car mufflers. And they're Everlast mufflers. And we have the know-how to install them quickly, because we're trained exhaust system specialists. You drive a foreign car? Come see me, your local man from Meineke, for know-how and quality. And you'll love the price.
Installed from $18.93 to $26.95. Visit your local independently owned Meineke shop today.
I need that package of slides for a major presentation tomorrow at 10:30 a.m.
You got it.
Not noon, not 3, 10:30 a.m.
You got it.
Listen to me. No slides, no presentation.
You got it.
Well, where is it?
You'll get it.
Next time, send it Federal Express. Now Federal schedules delivery by 10:30 a.m. So when we say you got it, you'll get it.
Another charge filed today against murder suspect Donald Nash in connection with last April's slayings of 3 CBS technicians and a witness in the federal fraud case. Today, indictment on a charge of conspiracy to murder ties Nash to a 5th victim in the case, Jenny Sue Chin, a bookkeeper at the Candor Diamond Company. The firm was involved in a multi-million-dollar fraud. The indictment alleges she and the other witness in the case were killed, though Chin's body has never been found.
Talks are on right now in budget-strapped Newark, New Jersey. How to avert the end-of-the-year layoff for more than 130 municipal employees, more than half of those Newark firemen. Union leaders and Mayor Gibson are also looking for alternatives to the demotion of 62 fire captains to lower-paying jobs. Mayor Gibson claims the cuts are necessary to close a $28 million budget gap.
Civil servants aren't the only ones in trouble these days, so are the very foundations of many of the cities that we all live in. the streets that we drive on, the bridges we cross, all in need of serious repair. Tony Gada will report from time to time on the crumbling city, and tonight he focuses on bridges.
We have our infrastructure falling apart.
This is a problem that must be met sooner or later.
Why did we let it get this bad?
Infrastructure, a four-syllable word that gets caught between your lips and front teeth. A bureaucrat's word that deadens the brain. Yet a word that is becoming trendy, hot with it. When you see all the politicians running for a bandwagon, you can tell.
Some of our national candidates who are running for president in '84 on the Democratic line, they're beginning to talk infrastructure.
Queens Democrat Geraldine Ferraro and politicians across the country are pushing infrastructure. It's good politics now, and it's vital to all of us. Here's the city's bridge crisis in a plain brown wrapper. There are 2,001 bridges in this city. 195 of them are in critical condition. They need $1 billion worth of care. We, Washington, Albany, New York City, don't have it. The next nice day, go down to the Lower East Side and watch the flat autumn sun sink behind the Brooklyn Bridge. Consider that this magnificent structure is 100 years old. Then think about the $100 million we need to begin preserving her for another 100 years. The Williamsburg Bridge, age 79. Ironworkers have spent the last 2 years rebuilding the north outer roadway. The steel holding it up rusted away. $16 million spent. Next, the south roadway, but that's not the half of it. The main cable is rusted. The suspender cables are brittle and ready to snap. One has already. $4 million will be spent soon to replace every third cable. The Manhattan Bridge, age 73. The subways that rumble across this span are killing this bridge.
The main bridge actually twists. The amount of twist is somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 feet every time a train goes over it. If you can picture fatigue stress in bending a paper clip back and forth several times a day, eventually something has to give.
George Zames can cite chapter and verse about the decay eating up the stately East River bridges, or he can take you to the unpretentious 84th Street Bridge that's holding up 6 lanes of traffic on the Belt Parkway in Brooklyn. There, he will point out the crack in the wall that would bring it all tumbling down were it not for wooden supports that temporarily prevent disaster.
How many other bridges like this or worse than this are there in the city?
Somewhere around 15 to 20.
This bad or worse?
Yes, this bad or worse.
You could fill volumes with the history of New York's infrastructure problems, their causes, the opportunities for solutions missed. But here's an expert who says, forget the past.
There is no sooner or later to this. It's now. We've got to do it now.
80% of the money for bridge repairs in this city comes from Washington. The Reagan administration has cut New York's share by more than half. The 5-cent-a-gallon tax on gasoline being promoted now to repair this nation is, that experts agree, merely a beginning. Governor-elect Mario Cuomo talks of an infrastructure bond issue. Financial wizard Felix Rohatyn promotes a Reconstruction Finance Corporation and a partnership between business and government. Very soon, the talk must end. The action begin. Jim?
Still to come on Channel 2 News at 6, May-December marriages and families. Vic Miles has a special report on a growing phenomenon. The Rangers routed home. Warner Wolf has the Toronto game highlights, all the day's sports. The Empire Strikes Back. Again, Dennis Cunningham has the last chapter in the Star Wars saga.
Pattern Delta. Go now. All right, coming in.
Marrakesh, Casablanca, Fez, Tangier, Rabat, Agadir, Morocco. You can do so much more, see so much more, play more, enjoy more. Yes, there's more to Morocco, more than you ever dreamed. Morocco. Contact your travel agent or the Morocco Tourist Office.
More stuffing, Mom.
Glad you like it. My family really loves my stuffing recipe. They don't know it's Rice-A-Roni's delicious new bread stuffing. The secret is in the flavor packet, a perfect blend of herbs and seasonings, a smidgen of rice in one, wild rice in the other, both with real chicken flavor and toasted breadcrumbs. 2 old-fashioned bread stuffing recipes, new from Rice-A-Roni, the flavor family.
Great stuffing, Mom.
Dance in the rain?
Why else would Aramis give me this umbrella?
You're mad.
Only about you and old movies.
The Aramis Town Umbrella. Your gift with any $10 purchase of Aramis, Devon, or Aramis 900. Aramis, the impact never fades. Now at the A&S nearest you.
Hey, Mom, what's for dinner?
It looks fabulous, hon. It's gonna be terrific.
Hey, Mom, it feels so good just being home and seeing you.
The tradition of quality for your holiday dinner begins with ShopRite Grade A fresh or frozen turkeys. ShopRite for the holidays.
It's delicious, Mom.
What's for dinner? ShopRite has the answer.
Can't wait to hear you.
All right, Jim, I know you've been waiting all day for me. All right, well, you know those 2 makeup games we talked about.
Yes.
The Giants will have to play the Eagles in Philadelphia, and the Jets will have to play the Chiefs in Kansas City, both games on January 2nd. And both games, by the way, 1 o'clock, so you can't watch both games at once, which is interesting because it means for the first time the Giants will never play Dallas and the Jets will never play Buffalo. I think that's very interesting because they play them twice each year, and now all of a sudden they won't play them at all. And by the way, Rob Carpenter cannot play for the Giants on Sunday if you were going to look for him. Forget it. He can't play until the Players Union ratifies the new union contract. And they don't even meet until Tuesday. All right, at the Garden last night, the Rangers led from start to finish. In fact, it was over in the first period. They beat the Leafs 6-1. Let's go to the videotape. Pick it up in that first period. Here come the Rangers. Mikko Leninen beats Bunny LaRocque, and it makes it 1-0 Rangers. 2 minutes, 44 seconds later, Leninen to Mike Rogers, and it's 2-0 Rangers. 4 minutes, 46 seconds later, Johnstone, Don Maloney, 3-0 Rangers. You could have turned your sets off there. Now it's 5-1 third period. Don Maloney scores again, 6-1. That's the way it ended. The Rangers outshot the Leafs 49-20. All right, in Chicago, the Blackhawks made it 10 in a row without a loss. The Devils made it 15 in a row without a win. Blackhawks 5, Devils 3. Let's go to the videotape. Pick it up here in the second period, 1-0 Chicago. Now watch this. Doug Wilson shoots off the boards, follows again, 2-0. 33 seconds later, from the faceoff, same guy, Doug Wilson scores again, his second goal in 33 seconds. That made it 3-0. Third period, 4-3 Blackhawks, 3:16 left. Ludwig scores to make it 5-3. That's the way it ended. NBA last night. Who's the worst team in basketball? Man, Houston is bad. Have you seen them play? They're now 0-10. The Celtics 112, Houston 94. Let's go to the videotape. Here come the Celtics in the home white. First half, Danny Ainge, 20 points. Swish. Robert Parrish, 16 for Robert Parrish. And Larry Bird, look at this move. Turnaround jumper, whirls around, swish. 21 for Bird. Watch this fast break. McHale to Henderson to ML Carr. Look at that pass to Roby. Before it was over, it got a little rough. Look at this, Larry Bird and Joe Bryant. Unlike hockey, the referee stepped in and it was over. The game of the night was in Dallas last night. Mavericks were down by 13 at the half. They came back, beat the Lakers 118-117. Let's go to the videotape. Pick it up here. 112-112. Less than a minute to play. Magic to Cooper to Worthy. Boom. 114-112 Lakers. Then another fast break. Norm Nixon with the ball to Worthy again, and it's 116-112 Lakers. But now, 22 seconds left. Mark Aguirre, three-point shot. Swish. It's 116-115 Lakers. Now 117-115 Lakers. 3 seconds left. Aguirre turns around, banks in the three-pointer, and Dallas beats the Lakers 118-117. If that had been a playoff game, they'd be talking about it for years. Boxing from St. Joe, Missouri last night, the capital. Let's go to the videotape. Look at this one fight. It's Roger Mayweather in the white trunks, Elmer Suttington in the red trunks. Suttington in trouble in the second round and goes down. Now Suttington gets up, same round, but moments later, Mayweather finishes him off. Now look at Suttington. Obviously, he goes to the same hairdresser's school as Don King. The feature race at Aqueduct today won by number 1, Eye Enclosed, paying $4. Ninth race triple, Pruner's Intention, Southern Prospect, and Alturas, letters IDL, $1,458. And I correct one mistake. Remember last night I said Cordero had won $8,400,000 career. Of course, that was $8,400,000 this year, which sets the all-time record. This is Warner Wolf. Jim?
Since that Mancini fight, I can't look at fights anymore.
I was thinking about that too, but things go on. Yeah,
I understand.
Boxing. Yeah.
Well,
just ahead we have more news and May-December marriages. Looking ahead to new families. Vic Miles with a special report when we come back.
What's with the derby, Chuck?
It's in honor of our delicious new all-you-can-eat prime ribs English platter.
Good show. Come to Beefsteak Charlie's for dinner every day of the week, and we'll give you all you can eat of our delicious, thick, juicy prime ribs, plus unlimited shrimp and salad, a baked potato, and beer, wine, or sangria with dinner, all for just $11.99. All you can eat prime ribs.
Uncle Charlie, you did it again.
At Beefsteak Charlie's, we won't stop giving until you say uncle.
Barney's for me.
Andy.
The Mercedes 300 SD and the Nissan Stanza. Judge the 2 optimum cars in America by the ACSC. The front-wheel drive Stanza. Crisp, clean styling. Spacious interior for 5. Big mileage. And best of all, it's not $37,000. Prices start under $7,000. The Nissan Stanza. If you drive it,
you'll love it.
See them at your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Metro Datsun dealers.
Hi, hon. What's for dinner?
I made this just for you.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I missed you.
Hey, Mom,
Oh, I
feels
missed
so
you
good
too.
just being home and seeing you.
Add sparkle to your holiday festivities with bubbling Canada Dry mixers, only 59 cents a bottle at ShopRite. The holiday answer.
Hey, Mom, what's for dinner? ShopRite has the answer.
1 out of every 3 marriages ends in divorce these days, but the failure of one marriage does not seem to sour people on the institution. In fact, statistics show 4 out of 5 divorced people do remarry. What of these remarriages, especially when they produce children? In a special report tonight, Vic Miles examines a particular type of a 2-family family.
Clark Gable, Cary Grant, Bing Crosby, Charlie Chaplin.
It's kind of like having the opportunity of living life all over again. This time I'm trying to get it right.
Right. You experience, perhaps more sensitively as you grow older, the joys of life that you may not have really noticed in the haste of youth. In this neighborhood, there are so many couples like this at this point that it's not that unusual.
Maybe there was a time when only the stars and celebrities did it. But today, more and more, older men in their 50s and 60s, are fathering brand new families, often with women half their age.
It's hard for me to feel 53, married to a woman who's 29, because for some reason, you don't seem to have that perspective of yourself any longer.
Ken Negan, high-powered, successful matrimonial attorney, remarried to a striking former Ford model who's a year younger than one of his daughters from his previous marriage. This time round, Ken claims to have found new values in fatherhood through this 2.5-year-old daughter, Johanna.
I just love the opportunity of us being together, and the time that we spend together is, to me, the most cherished possession that I have right now.
He's a man, generally, who has been somewhat successful in whatever his field of endeavor has been, whether he's making...
Dr. Clifford Sager, clinical psychiatrist for the Jewish Board of Family Services and a professor of psychiatry at New York Hospital, profiled the likely candidate for these kinds of marriages.
But the sexual turn-on hasn't been there for years. and there's a restlessness. What is he missing before he's too old to get whatever it is that he may be missing?
Oh, Colin, look what you're going to get. You have a good one.
That's how to spoil a boy.
Welcome to today. 9-month-old Colin Kirby may have a plastic instead of a silver spoon in his mouth right now, but he doesn't lack for parental attention from 30-year-old Joan Kirby and her 60-year-old husband, John, a top advertising executive for Scientific American magazine. A man who's philosophical about maybe not being around to see his infant son graduate college.
Well, hopefully, I'll be around. Thus far, all I know is that each day is a great experience, and he enjoys it, I enjoy it, Joan does, and who is to guarantee what the future will bring anyway.
The way nature set things up, there's a profound imbalance between the sexes. While men can father children well into their lives, women are racing a biological clock that runs down much more quickly in their lives.
They usually, if they marry an older man, don't wait very long because, as I say, the woman's fertility is limited.
Dr. Virginia Pomerantz takes care of the offspring of a number of May-December second families.
These older men are really having a ball with their babies. I am amazed at the patience that they show. They come home probably more tired at 60 than they were at 30, but nothing is more demanding than a 2 or 3-year-old child. They drop what they're doing, they play with the child, they answer the child's questions with enormous patience.
Okay, next. Joe and Sil.
Patience may not always be in evidence when soap opera director Peter Miner is drilling aspiring actors at a coaching class. But once home with wife Diane and 2-year-old Rachel, he fairly glows and his voice softens as he talks about priming himself for new life.
We both gave up smoking when Diane became pregnant.
Before,
yeah. I think I take better care of myself than I used to.
In other words, you're consciously trying to last longer.
I'm trying to last longer. That's absolutely right.
Do you like being a second family? It's all right.
Rachel came into this world with a ready-made adult family from her widowed father's first marriage. 3 brothers and a sister. Eldest brother Peter credits the newcomer with reuniting the family, which had splintered since his mother's death.
I can come home now. I'm not going to meet this man who's my father, but I have a little sister now and stepmother and a father. It's a good feeling.
But relations between families can be less than ideal, sometimes forcing the older dad to put his foot down.
You reach a point in life where you make your decisions on your own, and you don't really give a damn what other people think.
And the women in these older men's lives are just as self-assured about the marriages they've made.
I wanted a child by him. You can be 20 years younger, and it doesn't mean that it's going to be any better, that we would have a better relationship.
I don't know quite what has happened, but people tend to accept the relationship and me.
What do you think of guys over 55 and 60 starting all over with a new family and making babies?
What do I think of him? I think he's out of his mind.
No. I let my children have their infants, and I'll be the grandparent.
You should marry anybody you feel like marrying, and good luck.
Okay.
Lots of luck.
You say you have a feeling there's something more to this subject. Well, you're right. The first wives of the men of those second families, what of them? Well, then that's another story for another time, Jim.
Coming up, Mr. G looks at the weekend ahead, and Dennis Cunningham previews the holiday season ahead on the great stage at Radio City.
Your education is our responsibility, but you have to take the first step. Reach out to the Educational Opportunity Center of Harlem.
We'll be up all night doing your homework.
Don't worry, Dad. I just put Energizers in the calculator.
Of all leading battery brands, nothing outlasts the Energizer from Everready. Nothing outsnaps it. Nothing outadds, outwalks, outplays, outtapes, outshines, outlasts it. Nothing.
The Energizer even outlasted Dad.
The Energizer, energize for life.
Long life.
Energize me.
Florida, it's got a lot to offer, especially when you fly there on TWA. Only TWA gives you a car for 4 days, free. A hotel for 2 nights, free. Plus low fares to 6 Florida cities, like Miami or Fort Lauderdale. So come to TWA's Florida, where you can soak up the sun without getting burned.
You're gonna like us, TWA.
Who says finding your favorite brands on sale week after week is easy? Walbaum's.
This Thanksgiving, Walbaum's Grade A basted turkeys with pop-up timer and easy carry handle only 49 cents a pound with additional $7.50 purchase. Walbaum's own assorted soda in 2-liter bottles now 69 cents each. And for $1.15, enjoy either a 1-pound package of Keebler Townhouse crackers or a 12-ounce package of Chips Deluxe cookies.
Who makes it easier?
With specials week after week.
Walbaum's.
Hey, it's Furs. It's A&S $2 million fur sale.
3 days only.
Thursday,
Friday,
Saturday.
at A&S Brooklyn,
Manhasset,
Paramus.
50% off every mink,
Every lynx,
raccoon,
coyote.
every fur in A&S stock.
50% off.
This block llama mink coat,
Only
$2,699.
This blue fox jacket,
just $499. A&S $2 million fur sale.
Thursday,
Friday,
Saturday only.
Extra space,
Extra service.
at A&S
Brooklyn,
Manhasset,
Paramus only.
Your fur, 50% off.
Terrific.
Well, a little chilly out there, but it's kind of a nice fall day, isn't it?
You been reading my almanac at all?
No.
How about you, Jim? Jim? No, I want you to read. I'm going to quiz you guys every night. 47 degrees up. No, not every night, every now and then. 47 in Poughkeepsie. Generally partly cloudy in Scranton. Partly clear skies western Pennsylvania. 41 in Bradford. A dry night, but there'll be a lot of clouds around for a little while at least. Numbers Midtown. 51, humidity 50. Barometer on the rise. The winds north and east. They're in at 12 miles per hour. All right, now yesterday we began our long range, did not finish it. We're going to finish the package tonight. We're asking you to watch Christmas Day, the 25th, 26th. Here's our computer projection for that day. We think on Christmas Day a storm will develop in the southeast, move generally to the middle Atlantic, redevelop off the coast. Watch the cold air fly in from the Great Lakes. We go into northwesterly winds and we turn colder in January. 1983, rain or snow possible. Here's our projection, double barrel storm. One goes to the coast. That flies off to the coast of New England. The northwesterly winds follow in. Turn colder on the 26th, and that's the pattern we're looking at. We go now to January to 27th, 28th. Right afterwards, another event speaks for itself, clearing, windy, northwesting, cold. A storm develops once again in the nation's midsection. Another storm develops off the warm front. Here it comes up the coast. Again, we figure this one to work out at the end of January, and the northwesterly winds follow that. We're into the month of February now, and we're accenting this date, February the 21st, chance of rain or snow. Map now goes into motion. Double barrel storm. This storm begins to take off to coastal New England. The northwesterly winds follow, and we turn colder on the 22nd. And finally, we bring it to the end of the month of March, make it March 9th and 10th, becoming cloudy, rain or snow possible. Here goes the map. A storm developing along the coast, same pattern to the north and east. The northwesterly winds follow, and it turns colder. If you have an almanac, you can follow along. If you do not have an almanac, I will help you follow along. Clouds to the north and east, moving our direction off northeasterly winds, and we stay cloudy around here until further notice. Watch the 5 days now when we spell it out. Temps will be basically in the 50s. Monday and Tuesday, generally cloudy as well. Tonight, clouds mid-40s. For tomorrow, plenty of clouds. Skies may brighten. Temps in the 50s. Jim?
As we reported earlier, residents of Chinatown are protesting city's plans to build a new jail in their backyard. Right now, the city's Board of Estimate is debating that entire matter. For additional detail, to Sam Dick at City Hall.
Well, the Board of Estimate here at City Hall is hearing their 4th hour of statements from people opposed to a plan by Mayor Kotz to sell their apartments for a profit as co-ops. They had been told 3 years ago they could have those apartments for $250. That vote's supposed to come tonight, and as of right now, it hasn't come. The second big issue tonight is the plan by Department of Corrections to build a jail in Chinatown. There are about 100 people right now, all of them opposed to that plan, here tonight to speak to the Board of Estimate about that. I just spoke with Council President Carol Bellamy, and she says she doesn't expect a vote tonight. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Sam. It is time now for Dennis Cunningham. Tonight he has a doubleheader, 2 special treats for the holiday season just ahead.
Yes, Ron, thank you. You know, it may be only Thursday, November 18th, but it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Many store windows are already announcing the season, but we in the wonderful world of show business have 2 surefire signposts pointing directly toward Christmas. One is a Child's Garden of Delights, the New York City Ballet's Nutcracker, opening soon at Lincoln Center, and the other is opening even sooner. Yes, it's Radio City Music Hall's Christmas show, or as they call it, the Magnificent Christmas Spectacular, and it opens tomorrow, as in Friday, November 19th. And if this year's show has sneaked up on you, there are apparently many it hasn't sneaked up on, since this year's show already has a $2 million advance sale. The show has been a yearly feature at the Music Hall since 1933. What's this? Why, The Empire Strikes Back strikes back. Yes, the second Star Wars movie is re-released tomorrow and will be at a movie house somewhere near you. There are 4 good reasons for the movie's re-release. Number 1 is that it gets fans revved up for the new Star Wars movie, The Revenge of the Jedi, which opens next May. Number 2 is that it makes a lot of money. Number 3 is that it's a very good movie. Oh, and there's a 4th reason. He is 3 feet tall, several hundred years old, and goes by the name of Yoda.
War's not to make one great.
Rodney Dangerfield may get no respect, but this lady, though she is currently showcased at that First Avenue club known as Dangerfield, gets all the respect in the world, and she deserves it. She is Sarah Vaughan, and she is one of the best singers in the world, and she is now singing at Dangerfield's. That's quite a vocal instrument, quite a lady. God bless Sarah Vaughan. Jim.
That's Channel 2 News at 6. I'm Jim Jensen.
And I'm Roland Smith. I'll see you later on tonight at 11.
For all of us, good evening.
Here's the place so many women are talking about, the famous Burlington Coat Factory, where you can actually see coats and sportswear being made for fine stores everywhere. And here's one of Burlington's warehouses where you can see these and other famous brand coats, the largest selection in the country, plus famous designer sportswear, children's clothing, and menswear. All the better labels, all at fabulous savings. The Burlington Coat Factory, a great place to save on the fashions you want.
Rome's favorite white wine is...
Not Suave. It's Fontana Candida Frascati. And if you'd taste it, you'd know why.
If you can see only one show, make it the one show you'll remember the rest of your life. 42nd Street. Call Telecharge 246-0730.
40% real butter for taste. 60% corn oil margarine for savings. What a bright idea. New Hotel Bar Blend.
If you spot news anytime, anywhere in our metropolitan area, call the Channel 2 News hotline toll-free number, 1-800-CH2-NEWS. Portions of these broadcasts were recorded.
College football rivalries heat up this time of year. But what fuels the competition? Find out in the new issue of TV Guide.
Boxing has taken another life. Duk Koo Kim, the tough, gutsy South Korean lightweight, went down after fighting his heart out last weekend in Las Vegas. That he lasted 14 rounds in a championship fight against Ray Mancini was heroism of Rocky-like proportions. He was described as just about dead when he was taken from the ring. We're told by some fight buffs that those are the risks, and fighters know they're taking them. That boxing is, after all, about 2 guys trying to beat each other up. The beauty of boxing is in the skill the fighters, both trained men, demonstrate and the courage they show. So don't try to change anything they say. Don't, for instance, require boxers to wear protective headgear. The fans won't like it. Besides, it would only be effective against brain damage and death in a small percentage of cases. And more people are killed in auto racing accidents than in the ring anyway. That may be so, but wouldn't any auto racing fan want to see that risk reduced? And if only a small percentage of fighters are saved from serious injury and death by protective headgear, shouldn't it be tried? Gloves could also be redesigned to give fighters more protection against eye injuries, like the detached retina Sugar Ray Leonard suffered. And we applaud Leonard's recent decision to hang up his gloves and hope and pray that this smart and still beautiful young man doesn't succumb to promoters who beg for just one more fight. The loss of his sight won't be worth it. Deaths in the ring have in the past resulted in safer conditions for boxers. Since the death of Willie Klassen 3 years ago, fights are stopped by referees more quickly, and fans accept it. We hope that those who, like the promoter of the Mancini-Kim fight, are suggesting that protective headgear and safer gloves might be made mandatory, not be booed out of the arena. When boxing takes a life, attention must be paid.
That was Sue Cott, expressing the opinion of the management of WCBS TV. Those differing are invited to request time to reply.
Long ago, the elegance of German engineering. Today, the excitement of German engineering. The Audi 5000 Turbo, exhilarating luxury. The Audi GT Coupe, advanced aerodynamic styling. The Audi 4000, exciting performance and handling. High performance, German technology. From Audi, the art of engineering.
Well, now I need advice.
You mean your accountant is talking about tax-exempt bonds and you still don't have an Irving Trust personal banker?
With money from an aunt, quite a surprise. You mean you just inherited almost $250,000 and you still don't have a personal banker?
I cover the entire Northeast.
Oh, you mean your job's that important and you still don't have a personal banker?
If you're doing rather well, why settle for just a bank when you can have your own personal banker at Irving Trust?
I made it in New York.
Made in New York.
I made it in New York.
Made in New York.
I made it in New York.
Made in New York.
When it's made in New York, it's made by the best. From copiers to cottage cheese, New York is #1. Shouldn't your products be?
Made in New York.
Can you spare 30 minutes to save a life? Call the Greater New York Blood Program at 570-3158 or your local Red Cross for an appointment to donate.
Bathing Beauties, Friday at 7:30.
Good evening. This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Now that the word is out that President Reagan is thinking of moving up the 10% tax cut from July to January, the word from some top Republicans tonight is, Mr. President, think again. Phil Jones reports.
The president's own chief economic counselor, who was expressing concern over the mounting deficit in a Washington speech, was frank to tell reporters today that he thought the president's talk of accelerating the tax cut was a bad idea.
I think that it would have some serious adverse effects on the economy. I think that the extra deficit that it would create would do more harm than the little bit of stimulus would do good. So I'm afraid that I'm opposed to it.
That view was shared by many other prominent Republicans.
Secondly, I think it's far more important that we give Congress and the American people a look at a number of policies before we jump right in and accelerate that tax.
An obviously irritated Senate Finance Committee Chairman Bob Dole in Moscow for trade meetings issued a terse statement saying he was surprised that we were not consulted, that he had twice attempted to reach President Reagan last week but was unable to get past the White House staff. And in view of the deficit projections, it seems to me there may be better ways to stimulate the economy. At the White House, GOP leaders Baker and Michael, who had not been consulted, warned the president that tinkering with the tax cut could backfire.